Hey guys, how's it going? The Haggard Nerd here. Welcome back to Factorio. Just a real quick heads up, there's not really a lot to go over here, but we are now on 16.32. That was updated. The changelog is not all that crazy for this update. 3.1 had some landmines and like basically PvP stuff, some really simple stuff, nothing too crazy, and 0.32 only item ingredients are automatically sorted in recipes. Minor features added: string import, export to PVB config. So like nothing too crazy, nothing really to go into any sort of depth about. So let's go ahead and get in here. There was a couple of things we were I had ran into at the end of last episode, at the end of the stream, and I figured a couple things out. So I'm kind of excited to share that with you guys. Let's go ahead and get the game loaded up in here. The two things that I'm really going to focus on right now. The first thing is at the end of the previous episode, I had the issue where I had, let's do this. So we have iron ore drop off 1 down here, and then we have iron ore drop off down here. But the trains keep going to this one here since it's closer. And I found out that if you name stops the same, it only really works. Trains will only randomly choose if those stops are all kind of like together. So if you have like a bunch of rails all together, like a depot, like a bunch of stuff incoming, or I guess loading up and going out, if those stops are all named the same and very close together, then it'll kind of choose randomly whichever one's open. However, it doesn't run across distances like that, and that's the issue we were having here. I did figure out a way around that. It's kind of hackish, I don't know, but it works, and I tried it out in some homework I was doing since hold on, I just got a notification I was supposed to have that on quiet hours anyway. So yeah, I did a little bit of homework since last episode, and number one, I figured out a train stop thing, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. And the other thing is I actually completely reworked, I mean, it's still the same as it was when I left off, but I completely reworked this area, and I actually just saved the blueprint of what I did and reverted back to this save, so that way you guys can at least see the build of that.
Zamora _27_ is following on Twitch.
Welcome, Zamora. Welcome to the community. Make sure you join our Discord, discord.me/TheHaggardNerd. But yeah, so I made a blueprint of the work that I did and then reverted back to this save. So that way what I can do is I can go ahead and tear this down, place down the blueprint, and kind of show you guys what I did with it and kind of explain it as it's being built. So that way I'm not like doing a lot of work off camera and then coming back and you guys are like lost as to what I've done. So let's go ahead and get this area built up, and then I'll tell you guys about the stops, because I kind of need this area to be updated before I build the second stop and show you how to alternate between those two. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and manually just pull this down. You're being prepared on a playstyle. Okay. Thank you, John. All right. Oh, I jumped out because I'm a derp. Oh man, it's not on, it's on manual, so it'll stop. It's just coasting. Oh, I'm such a jerk sometimes. Anyway, I meant to click on this and then go to iron ore drop off, since that will be the closest one on the way, which is down here, which is fine, instead of having to run all the way down. Oh yeah, and I have technology here that I need to start working on. So we got some modules. Let's just go ahead and take care of everything in order here. I've not really been worrying about it too much. We're really behind in terms of building up for actually being able to process and create more advanced technology, like actually assemble it, but it's fine. Once we get all this built up the way I want it to, it'll be a lot better. And I really shouldn't have let this go, but it's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull both of these trains out, so that way I can clear this area. And I need to add fuel here, so let's go ahead and do that. Just hop in here. And I'm just going to run this all the way down to the end of the line before it connects back up to the main loop. So that way it's just kind of out of the way. Ooh, a little bit too far. Back it up, back it up. Okay, so there's that one. And then I guess I probably could go ahead and mark all this for removal. because we will need it gone at some point. That's a lot of wood. I'll eventually, I'll use some of it, but some of it will eventually just make its way into our power generation system. Basically taking the place of coal, because I mean there's really no reason to hold on to all this wood that I know of. I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and get rid of all that. And then I'm actually going to need this area up here. So I blacklisted anything but trees and rocks. So I'm just going to clear all this out just because it's in my way. And I need to go ahead and move this other train over, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Hey John, is Nightbot responding? Ooh, I ran it right into the back of the other cargo wagon. It's fine though. It's fine. That's what insurance is for, right? Especially when it's my own stuff. I don't think I have any more repair tools, do I? Repair packs. Let's go ahead and just do it manually. There we go. Imagine this is a toy railway. We need a very big table. Yes, a very, very big table. Okay, I must have Nightbot chat filtered like I did before. Still waiting to hear an update about the Battissimo, however you say it. That bot. Once that gets updated to where it works properly on YouTube, I'll be switching over to that. But okay, so I know you guys watched me go to town building all this by hand, mostly by hand. Last stream, but I am going to go ahead and get rid of all of this because reasons. I'll show you guys in a minute. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all the way down to maybe like here. Yeah, let's leave those. Go ahead and get rid of those loaders as well. You know, I think I'm going to move this coal train out of the way as well because I can't remember exactly how I've got that feeding in. And then I'll probably just put that up with the other trains up here too. Just kind of get them out of the way. Nice. And this will be not needed later. Okay, so we just gotta wait for the bots to do their thing and pull up all this stuff. It won't take too long. Thankfully, these bots are pretty quick, and we got some more technology to take care of. So let's go ahead and do that. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out as well because I don't remember what all my blueprint covered. And how much landfill do I have? I have 301. Might as well go ahead and take care of some of this as well. There we go. And I know I need more for over there, but I'll worry about that later. Okay, almost got it all. Just gonna stand here, wait for it to do its thing. It's very entertaining to sit here and watch this. It's like that's stuff I could all be doing by hand, but I don't have to, so it's great. I mean, I could just lay down the new blueprint, but that would be kind of bad. Because then this would all overlap and we wouldn't know what was what. There we go, I got some music. It's kind of weird just sitting there with silence and my own thoughts. And my bot's picking stuff up. I know I'm not helping all that much, but... Okay, just got to clear out this little corner here, a little bit down to the south. Yeah, the music in this game's great. It's like, it's moody and very atmospheric. I love it. Okay, just continue with the modules. My bot range has definitely been increased due to research upgrades and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and pull a few of these as well. Get some of this out of the way. Maybe leave that. I don't know if that was a part of the blueprint or not. I'm playing with a few mods, yeah. Nothing like super game changing in terms of adding stuff to the game. I try to keep my mods to the point where they add quality of life changes, but don't really change a lot of the core feel of the vanilla game. But yeah, the one I'm using right now, it's called Nanobots, and it basically allows for early bot usage. Because I kind of love my bots. Okay, so I think we're good here. I think we're good. We're good. Okay. Yeah. Do you see how all this is kind of brown now? This is where we've been running around. That's the dirt path mod. So the more you run over stuff, the crazier it looks. So if I were to run up and down here, I would eventually make a line in the sand, which I think is kind of cool. I think it's kind of interesting. All right. So where is my blueprint? That's not it. That is it. This is what I did my homework on. This is oh man, this is what I spent a good maybe hour working on. And as I'm gonna go ahead and plop this down. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to clear out that wall as well. So let me go ahead and clear out the wall, and then I'll explain it here in a second. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There we go. I need that corner for reference. But yeah, as it's being built, I'll kind of explain what's going on. So before I was trying to do this thing where I had kind of like 2 banks, and then I said maybe later on I'd come back and make another 2 banks, but then I ran into the issue of having like height issues. So what I did was, instead of running the line down here, I actually ran the line up here, the rail rather. So that gave me a lot more space to work with, and that's what all that is about. So as soon as I plop this down here, yes, there, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect this up here. I'm gonna let my bots take care of these trees. So while you're destroying everything, I work at a bar. Besides cider, what's my favorite drink? Oh goodness, I've been on a Bloody Mary kick lately, which is kind of fun. In terms of like beer though, I've really been into like Irish Reds. It's got like the malty and the hoppiness kind of all together. I generally, my beer of choice is generally, my go-to is Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Yeah, as far as mixed drinks and stuff, probably a Bloody Mary, just because of the tomatoey awesomeness. Okay, let's go ahead and connect that in. We can get rid of these guys. Oh, one more, okay. There we go. Okay, so what I had before was I had 1 rail coming down here and then 2 rails going up on the side. And the problem with that is that they were getting kind of cluttered over here, and I had to have all these transport belts all going to right here, and that really kind of cluttered this area up, because remember I was having issues doing that bend up there. So what I have now is an incoming going here and an outgoing going there. So the ore will come in down on this side, and the plates will go out on that side. And what I have here is I have 4 loaders offloading at a time, so that way we'll get 8 full saturated lanes coming off of 2 wagons. And half of those, I've got them, if you'll notice here, I have 2 coming off this way and 2 going off that way. So all 4 of these are coming 2 off this side and 2 off this side. So this basically takes half from this cart and half from this wagon. And the other half obviously go up and the other half go up, because that way it's kind of balanced. And then I've got balancers here. I got balancer down here. So that way everything coming out of the wagons, off the train, is balanced nicely. Half basically going down here, so we have 2 full lines, pure lines of ore coming in here. Same thing over there. And then over here on the other side as well, we got the 4 full lanes of ore going up. Same idea as this, up in here, up into there. And then what I've got here, and I had to kind of work this in a very weird fashion, is everything that's being produced goes off these lines and get spat out the side. And then same thing with the top here. We have stuff coming off the side here. And same thing with the offloading I did with the onloading. So I have 1 lane going here, 1 lane going there, 1 lane going here, and then the other lane coming down here. So we have 2 going into this one, 2 going into that one from the top, and the same thing, 2 going into this one, 2 going into that one from the bottom. So everything's kind of mixed and matched, and it'll help with keeping everything just kind of even, so that way one wagon doesn't get unloaded or loaded faster than anything else. And then as far as coal goes, I'm probably gonna need some more stuff. As far as coal goes, I have this stop down here, and basically I have 4 single loaders going into a balancer coming up, and then that way we have the far left and the far right going pure lanes into the first 2 smeltery sets, and then these 2 middle ones will feed the next 2 smeltery sets. So everything's nice and even and awesome. And the idea is later on, as I build more of these banks up, now that I've got this blueprint, I can basically make this, copy and paste this all the way down through here as far as I need. And that'll be just one huge smeltery bank for anything we need. And the idea there is either A, I can, if I have another couple of banks down here of smelting, I can either add more loaders off and then add more coal going from the singular train over to the other banks, or what I could do is just copy this entire thing and have multiple coal trains just constantly feeding up and into the smeltery area. The thing I'm going to need to do is get this iron ore patch taken care of soon, or completely disregard it, one or the other. So that's something to be mindful of. It's pretty much built. I think we're gonna need more transport belts, so that's something we got to do. Anything else? Probably power lines. Yeah, we're gonna need some power lines, power poles, whatever. Let's just go ahead and make all those. It'll give us 85. And then we need some green circuits and some... we need inserters too, don't we? No, we don't. We're actually doing okay on inserters. What about long inserters? Looking for ghosts here. We might actually be okay on long inserters. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're good on long inserters. So all we need is some green circuits to make more power poles, lighted power poles. And then, oh, it looks like we need a few more iron chests as well. Let's go ahead and make a handful of those. Oh, and we'll put those down later because we're still working on our lights. Let's go ahead and let this fill in real quick. Oh man. Like I explain what you're doing. I try to explain my madness. There's usually a method to my madness, but sometimes I just kind of go with it. Alright, can you fill that one in, please? Okay, let's just do this. Alright, so I'm going to run this over and just connect it up to the other side. And then I'm going to take one of these trains that I've got sitting here just hanging out up north. So that way I don't have to run all the way up. Okay, let's go ahead and do that, and then turn this north, and then wait for it to snap into place. That's the way we want it. There we go. And then go ahead and do our signaling. This is going to be picked up later, but it's okay. So at the end of last stream, I also was working on that coal area, which we'll be picking up from soon. So the idea here is I'm going to go ahead and loop this around Pretty straightforward. I'm not going to take this one, but I am going to take the second one. And then go straight. Nope, well, that's not the one I wanted, but it should work unless there's a train here already. But I don't think there would be. We're not trying to refuel. This is the refuel line. So let's stop just shy of the refuel line. And while I'm up here, I'm going to go ahead and rename this just to kind of get that going, and I'll explain my methods soon. Before the end of this episode, I will explain the whole naming convention, how I have it working. Okay, so I needed green circuits and I needed transport belts. All sorts of wonderful good things. How am I doing on gears? Don't have any, so let's go ahead and pick some of those up. Said that backwards, but it's fine. And then, of course we have some research we need to do. Ooh, some more modular armor. We could get started with that. That'd be fun. But I think we need red circuits and stuff like that, but we are nowhere near that just yet. I'm good on plates. What about copper? I could probably pick up some copper. How are we doing on engines? We're not. Okay, we need some steel then. So let's go ahead and put some steel in. Oh wow, I've got a lot of steel going in there. Let's just do that. And then, I don't know why I would really need all these engines, so let's just go ahead and limit it to like 1. And then, did I get everything I needed? No, I needed, transport belts. Of course, completely forgot about that. Right here, there we go. So we had this buffer kind of situated. Very nice, very nice. Alright, and we can go ahead, I think, and run back down. Did I remember to drop some turrets up north? I mean right here? Yes. I am protected up here. Speaking of which, let's look at our alien situation. We're protected here by this wall from these guys. This area is kind of open, so if they decide to come in through here, we might have some troubles. Those bases are getting kind of nasty. So, oof, and we got some stuff coming over here we're gonna have to watch out for eventually. But thankfully, it's not a Death World campaign. So, as long as we're diligent about staying safe, we should be good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and run this back down. You're waiting for the aliens to attack? Oh yeah, they will, absolutely. Not at this very moment, but they will at some point. They are going to catch me off guard at some point. Because they always do. So the interesting thing about aliens, they have this thing called evolution. So the longer you play, and I guess the more pollution they're exposed to, I don't know exactly what the parameters are, or what the variables are to cause them to evolve. But over time, they actually do. They do become more strong and more aggressive, I think, over time. And I was not supposed to go into that one. I was supposed to go into the second one. There we go. So I'm not going to pull it directly up so we don't pull anything off. Let's just go ahead and put this here. And then this should also be called iron ore drop-off. Not 1. We're just going to call it iron ore drop-off. Yes. Okay, cool. So we're there. Oh, and I've already done my thing, so I'll show you that guys that in a second. All right. Anything else that's needed here? Let's go ahead and see what else is required to fill all this in. And as soon as we get all this filled in, I'll go through and talk about the naming of the trains. Does Factorio have an ending? I always wanted to ask that question. Yes and no. No, there's no like distinct like, hey, you win. But one kind of benchmark you can use for success is when you launch the rocket. Because once you launch the rocket, that's basically like the latest thing you can do in the game. Unless they've updated it and there's more to do that I'm not aware of. But up to this point that I know of, why is this not working? Basically, yeah, launching the rocket is kind of like the end goal. Where are my bots? Oh, I ran out of bots. That's why. Well, I kind of need my bots now. But I mean, people generally just play to build and just kind of experience the game because it's a very addictive type game. It just kind of allows you to enjoy it. and build as big as you want. And it's mainly logistical problems that you solve. And some people actually try to do challenges where they launch X amount of rockets a minute, which that gets really crazy because rockets take a lot of materials to build. And if you're launching like, you know, a rocket a minute or 2 rockets a minute, you are cranking out some serious production across your base. And the amount of planning and organization and just the logistical craziness, awesomeness of being able to launch a rocket a minute, man, that's fun. So it takes the idea of like the end goal of launching a rocket and just completely ups the ante all the way across the board. And I mean, you play the game until you don't want to play the game anymore, basically. I like to call it kind of like my Zen garden. So I come and I mess with it, and I try to get everything. I try to solve problems and make it run as efficiently as possible. And it puts me in a state of ease of mind because I thoroughly enjoy the game. I like all the logistical problems that you have to solve, and plus it's just a cool premise. I really like it. So that's my take on it anyway. So modular armor finished. Let's go ahead. We got night vision, which we don't need, thankfully. I think we are good. Let me go ahead and connect these lines up down here, and then we will fix the rest of the lines up later. Yeah, I really do need to set up some sort of quarry for this. Let's do that, and then for now, we'll just connect to here. It's not going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's one of those games where it goes off infinitely within reason of your computer's capabilities, because it does get to the point where you have so much going on, it starts hindering your computer. Like you're very much limited to the power of your computer. Okay, so just gonna connect this up. And I appreciate your all's patience waiting on this whole train stop thing. And I'm just wanting to make sure that everything can run before I start working with trains. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna continue with the portable solar panels. Yeah. We are nowhere near that right now, but it's fine because we can at least research it. We can use it later. Okay, so I think we can send this train to where it needs to go. Iron ore. Oh, that's the quarry. Okay, so this one is. Whoops. Okay, I messed up. So let's go ahead and send this to coal drop off. Doesn't exist because I haven't named the stop. So let me go ahead and get all the trains in place. Hold on. I keep delaying. I know. It's frustrating to me too, trust me. Okay, so let's get this at least close so I can kind of get them all lined up and organized. So this one is supposed to be going to drop off in quarry. So this one actually is supposed to go down this line. It's first line. I gotta watch out and not run into my other train. There we go. Then this one is supposed to be iron ore pickup. That's why it's not got any schedules or anything, because we had not set that up yet. So this goes through here, and then comes up there. Okay, not that close. Okay, there we go. Alright. And this is going to be... Oops. That's going to be iron plate pickup. Cool. This is going to be iron plate drop off. Iron ore drop off. That's what we needed. And then this one down here needs to be coal drop off. All right, so that's, well, that needs to be black as well. So let's go ahead and change that. That's gonna be black. Okay, cool. And then that is blue, right? And then this one should be blue as well. And you notice here it's kind of behind my overlay, but it's now telling us that we have an hour and 11 minutes before our stone empties out. And that is this patch. Oh, it's so loud. That's the one that connects, that is west of our main base up north. Okay. So this can go to iron plate pickup until inventory full. Let's go ahead and say go. And it's going to stop. And then we're going to say manual because we don't want to go anywhere just yet. Is that lined up right? It seems a little off. If not, we can move it. I think it should be fine. You're really digging the retro waves? Yeah, I found this pack and I was like, yeah, I kind of need that in my life. Kind of, sort of. Okay. So, let's go and get the coal train going and then we'll put this in place and then I can explain the stops. I'm going to run this episode a little bit longer. I've been shooting for about 30 minutes per episode, but I was really wanting to get through the train stops and stuff before I finish this episode. What's up, Josh? Hey, how's it going, buddy? It was loud, but usually when you walk into a quarry, it like gradually gets louder, but when you use this mod and you go to the insta-view thing, it's a little loud. So let's go ahead and go to drop off. Ooh, no path to station. Okay. Why is there no path to station? Okay, let me see what's going on here. Is there a train in the way? Let's just ride around and see what's going on. I may have misnamed it. Do not have a lot of coal on hand in the wagons, but it's fine. We got a nice little pickup area. Ready to go. Not bad. How about you? Slow day on my end, no complaints. There you go. Awesome, man. Sometimes slow days are good days. Sometimes they're not, but hopefully it was a good slow day. You said no complaints, so definitely good slow day. Okay, so why do I probably didn't have my signals proper. That's probably what happened. So that is red because I'm sitting on it. No, that should cover it. Let me double check here. Yeah, that should cover it. Okay. So maybe it was just too long of a path? I don't think that's the case. There's something else that's a problem. But we'll find it and we'll fix it. So this goes down here. Oh, there we go. There, those two rails were not in place. That's all it was. Okay. So let's back this up a little bit. You can say, go ahead and do your thing, buddy. We'll drop off. There we go. So now this is going to feed into our smeltery area. This is unloading 4 full belts that'll fill all 4 banks of smelters. And then when this is empty, it'll go up to our quarry, which is right here. And that'll fill in. I don't have a radar there, but that'll fill in quickly. So let's go ahead and start working with the stop. So the thing I found... Where'd my train go? Where'd my train go? There he is. Okay. Is that you can use a circuit network without really using the circuit network in order to activate and deactivate stops. So let's go ahead and do the drop off. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, stop. I didn't have any iron ore for that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this, and then I'll show it in practice after. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one singular pole down. So I'm just going to move. It doesn't really matter where you put the pole. You can put it here, you can put it there. I'm just going to put it like right next to it just to kind of keep it out of the way. And then I'm just going to make, it doesn't really matter what color wire you make. I'm going to make just a couple of red. Just kind of have that on hand. Pull this down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this train stop to this pole. and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Because all that does is it allows you to connect to the circuit network. And what I do is I set the enable disable to greater than 0. So if any iron ore is at this stop and then greater than 0, then or maybe it's equal 0. It's one of those things where I have to have it kind of in practice and working. Do I have any? I do. Okay, let's put half and half. That way we can see if it works or not. Because I can't remember if it's enable or disable. Oh, come on. Back it up. That's not the right one. Okay. Let's try it one more time. Third time's the charm. Okay, so let's go ahead and send that to the drop off. And then have it pause. Oh man. Okay. I'm awesome at this. Let me tell you. Iron ore drop off. Okay. It's trying to go up to the top one because whatever reason. I guess that's the first one that it would get to. It's part of the game, man. It really is. Just getting things working the way you want it to. Sometimes it's a little bit frustrating. Hey dude, does my memory tell me right that you streamed yourself playing Elite Dangerous before? Yes, I used to play Elite. Still do play Elite, just not as frequently as I'd like. And actually, unless for some reason SES drops a crazy update for Astroneer this week, which I don't think they will, I will be playing Elite Dangerous this Friday, so 2 days from today. Okay, so iron ore drop off. That should be going to iron ore drop off, which is right there. Okay, so that's disabled. Okay, so that's why it passed it, because if it's greater than 0, it's disabled, I guess. So what we need to do is make that equal to 0. That's the enabled. Okay, so okay, let me explain that because I just figured it out. So when a train stops here, it basically reads itself and says how much ore is here. And if it's greater than 0, then it's disabled. So this will turn red. The name will turn red. That means any other train looking for a stop that's called iron ore drop off can't go to that stop because there's already a train there that has iron. However, once that becomes 0, the enabled condition, since there's no train here that has any sort of iron ore, it's now reading 0. So that means, you know, I'm open for business so trains can come here. So basically, as soon as, let's see here, as soon as this train stops, you'll see on the map that it turns, oh crap. Well, it would have turned red, but it dropped everything it had off just like instantaneously. So that's what you do. You basically connect one pole with a red wire or whatever wire you want, a circuit wire, and basically just say, hey, how much ore is currently at the stop? And if it's equal to 0, then make it enabled. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the stop up north. That way, the two trains can go to the different stops interchangeably. And I still fine with Factorio. Game rocks. Yes, absolutely love this game. Okay. It's only a perfect match when I can explain myself clearly. That's really a hit or a miss. Okay, so make sure I don't get run over here. There we go. Okay, so this thing I believe is stopped. It should be stopped. No, let's do this. Okay, let's go ahead and do this again and show you guys. I'm going to move this out just a little bit. I'm going to connect this and then say enable disable if iron ore equals 0. So when I look at the map, since there's train here that has ore, we look. Crap. Why does that say drop off is enabled? Okay, so then I need to do something different. So read train contents, is that right? It's a little bit of trying to figure out what is it greater than 0? Okay. So if enable / disable, but the thing is, turn this entity on it and only when the condition is true. So when there is greater than 0 ore, enable, But then that disables, that's a little bit backwards. Trains will skip disabled stations, allowing you to control train routes. Okay, so that's kind of funky. Say equals 0 and say read train contents. I could have sworn that that I did equals below, but okay. So it seems greater than 0 works for this one because there's currently a train there with, or maybe I got it backwards for the one down south. You think they make a 3D version of this game? No, I mean, really, if you start messing with the look of the game and the perspective and stuff, it's really just gonna mess the game up, in my opinion. I mean, it would be cool to have a game where you can go and do similar things in 3D, but then you lose that kind of overview that you kind of need in order to like scroll out and say, oh, well, this over here is doing this, and so on and so forth. It's, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of torn between that. Okay, so let's see. So this one is disabled, but this one is enabled. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it just go to iron ore drop off. So it should bypass the first one and go to the second one. So we'll not go down here. It should continue on just like that. That's exactly what we wanted to see. The train station is enabled when the condition is true. Okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I get confused. I'm a coder and I get confused by that stuff. But that's because I'm a lot of like trial and error type. That's kind of how I work. So, oh, okay, so yeah, there's iron here, but it's still enabled. So all we need to do is greater than 0, and now if we look, it is now disabled. So now if we say had another train that was looking for an iron ore drop-off station, it would not be able to go anywhere, and it'll give us an error probably, because both of these have been taken up. But since we only have 2 stops, we only have 2 trains, what I could do is do the same thing with a bunch of the iron ore quarries, and just reverse the logic and have a bunch of other iron ore quarries situated, all named iron ore quarry. I could remove the one, and then they would go to whichever one the other trains are not at, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So now our smeltery is working. It's functional. That's on automatic. What did that say? That is the drop off is red because it's currently there. And it's not going anywhere until it's empty. Once it's empty, it'll go away, and then that will become enabled again, which is kind of cool. And then we have our train up here sitting, waiting to collect some plates, which is cool. And then we don't have any schedule situated on this because we don't have any place to drop it off yet. But that's going to be what we're going to do in the next episode. We're going to start expanding out, and I'm probably going to rework my gear situation here and probably find another place to set up gear processing and manufacture and stuff like that. Or I might actually just go ahead and use this area here and just have it loop up and around, which might work just fine. So yeah, guys, hopefully you're enjoying this playthrough of Factorio, and hopefully I didn't go on too long trying to explain all that, but it gets kind of confusing sometimes. Yeah, I freaking love this game, and hopefully you guys didn't mind that I did a little bit of homework, but I wanted to share with you what I did instead of just playing and then hopping you guys back in, and you guys being all confused and stuff and wondering what happened to the other build. So guys, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. If you like what I do, hit the like button. If you want to help my channel grow, share my videos, share my live streams, leave likes, leave comments, all the good stuff. Because the more you guys interact with the videos and stuff, the more people will come and hang out and be part of the community. Also, if you're over on the Twitch or the Mixer side, make sure you hit that follow button. I appreciate it. And guys, yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. As always, thanks for watching. Take care.